Hey there, welcome to my channel. My name is Daniela, and today we'll be doing a mid-year update for the Pan in Every Palette slash No Pan Left Behind project. This is a very casual project that I've been doing in the background. As you can see, I haven't been updating all the time. But yeah, I just want to get through all my palettes. Making sure I'm getting through all of them, and getting a pan in everyone will take some time, but I have some getting through there. Not a lot of pans this year, but hopefully I can get some in the later half of this year. So let's just get started. I'll go in the order that I have them written down in my notebook. There were some declutters, so I'll mention those when I get to them, and at the end I'll say what the numbers are. So first we have the Natasha Denona Trail Chrome palette. This guy I used every shade at least once. No pan yet though. It's very deep pans, so it would take some time. Maybe if I go for that, it'd probably be like maybe one of the shimmers, or one of the more neutral shadows, but that'll be a while. Next is the pastel palette. This guy, I've used each of the shades once, and I do have some very good dips going on these two guys. I have been focusing on them recently to try and hit pan. This guy might need just maybe like 2 or 3 more uses and I'll have a pan. But yeah, for now, I've only hit the goal for No Pan Left Behind. Then we have the gold palette. This guy, I decluttered a bunch of the shades before, so it's not all of them. These are just some other shades I just have in there, but yeah, it's just these guys with the deep pans. I hit the No Pan Left Behind, and I do have some nice dips going. You can see some wear in these mats, but those are so long way to go. Maybe if I hit pan, it would be one of these two. It didn't take long to actually get a nice dip, even in this one. So yeah. Then we've got all the minis. First we have Mini Bronze. This is a newer one. This one I haven't used yet in this project. Then we have Mini Glam. This one I also haven't used in this project. They're also pretty new palettes. Like I've used this one before, but this one's really new, so I haven't even done any eye looks with it yet. I'll have to do that soon. Then we've got the Mini Nude. This one I hit my usage in all of them. It is part of my Pan That Palette project, so yeah, I have been getting use out of it. This guy already had a pan, so it already has my goal hit for the Pan in Every Palette. This guy I've been using quite a lot. So, yeah. Another one from Pan That Palette is the Mini Star. This guy is, I think, the oldest Natasha Denona palette I own. Already has the pans, and I've used them all, so I hit goal in both of those. No Pan Left Behind and Pan in Every Palette. I've been using mostly these guys. This huge dip. But yeah, this guy, contemplating decluttering end of the year. We'll see. Then last one from my Pan That palette is the Mini Retro. This guy, I did all my uses, but I don't have another pan yet. Mats are super hard pressed, so that will take a while. So probably be one of the shimmers. But yeah. I was using it a lot beginning of the year, not so much right now. Yeah. And then we have Mini Love. This guy, I've got all my uses out of it, but no pan yet. Maybe this guy, although I barely use any, so it would take a while. Or maybe I'll try working on this guy in the fall. Mini Biba is one of my newer palettes. I don't have any uses in this project. And for pan, I'm guessing it'd probably be either this guy or maybe the cream one. Do want to make sure I'm using the creams from Natasha Denona. I mean, they would dry faster. So that's it for my minis. Then I have this 1.5 pan, which has the normal deep pans. This guy I haven't put any uses in. Will also take a while to hit pan in any. Probably one of these two shimmers. Then Glam Face. This guy's also, has a 5 pan of the MIDI shades. Very nice shimmers. I've only used this guy, so I still have uses to go. And pan, I mean, maybe one of these two. It's a very nice inner corner. So. And then the Retro Glam. This guy, I've hit all my uses in it. It's a very nice palette for spring, winter. It is pretty new, so I'm not close to pan, but maybe I'd go for this guy or maybe the cream matte. Yeah, it's actually not this dark. Okay, on to some non-Natasha Denona. We have ABH, so this is my oldest one. It's the Sultry palette. This guy, I already have some pans in it, as you can see. But I haven't used them all for the No Pan Left Behind right now. I only have these 3 guys left, which I'll definitely use soon in the fall. And this guy I've been using a lot as a blush. Then Soft Glam, I haven't gotten my uses out of it, but I did hit a pan. I hit pan on this earlier in the year for the 50 Shades of Yellow. So I at least have 1 pan in here. I'm happy with that. Then I have the Modern Renaissance palette. This is actually a palette I rebought because I had panned it before. Not fully, like I had it a while, it got old, but I did love the story, so I have it again, and I do need to get use out of it again. Kind of keep putting it to the side. So yeah, this guy doesn't have any pans, nor have I used it in this project. But yeah, this guy's like perfect all year round, so definitely start to get a bunch of its use in the fall. Then I had a palette from Dose of Colors. It was the Pretty Cool palette, like all cool mattes. That was getting old, so I decided to declutter it. I didn't like how it's blending out anymore. So yeah, it's 1 palette less in my collection. Then I have this little palette from Too Faced. I've never really owned many Too Faced palettes. I think this was the only one I've ever owned. I do really like it. It is getting older. It still works well though, blends out well. I haven't hit my usage goal, nor any pans. These 3 guys though are actually pretty good face products too, so it's a good travel palette. Yeah, it's good for summer. Try to get use out of it before the summer's done. Then I have the Creepy Cute palette. This is back when it was called Strobe Cosmetics. It's getting older, but still very good quality. I have used all the shadows at least once in this project. No pans yet though. Maybe I'll focus on this guy. I use this guy quite a lot. Almost every time I do a black eyeliner look, but it like barely has anywhere that you can see. And then the most recent Natasha Denona palette I got is the Metropolis palette. This guy has quite a few shades in it. There are a lot of warm tones, greens. There are some nice blues. So this guy I haven't hit my usage on yet. I've used these guys. This guy, I think. This guy. Some over here. But yeah, I'll try to get a lot more use in the fall because I think it's perfect for fall. Yeah. Any pans, maybe it will be one of the cream mattes. I do want to get more use on those soon. But yeah. After that, we have the Huda palettes. First of all, I've got New Nude. This guy has a pen in almost every shadow. These two were added in, so they're not part of the palette. But yeah, pan in almost everything except these two. But I haven't used it recently. I haven't really used it this year, so I still have usages to go. Then a palette I've decluttered, but I'm keeping it in my empties. It is sort of like half empty, like I already counted this in an empties before, but these guys I've used a bunch, like this guy almost finished, but I'm just calling it done. Next is the Gemstone palette. This one I actually hit pan in all the shadows before, but then when it was getting cleared out, I decided to repurchase it because I really liked them. So a while back I declared the first one I have, and this is the newer one. I have not put any uses in it recently, so this guy I've only used this guy, so I'll have to use the others. Then I've got the Neon Orange palette. This has some pans in it, has these pans, and then this is a shadow I added in. I haven't used all the shadows again though this year, so still some more uses to go, but that'll be rolling out soon. I have this in the project. Then I have the Nude Light. This is my newest Huda Beauty palette. I have put some uses in recently, just these guys up here. I'll use the ones below probably soon. But yeah, no pans yet. Mattes are pretty hard pressed, but they are shallow. So yeah, I don't think it would take long to hit pan, at least a pan in this palette. Then I have some Nomad palettes. I have the Nomad Harajuku palette. This guy has a few pans. I've got 3 pans, and I had it in a project recently, so I've used all the shadows at least once this year. So. And I have the Cartagena Mágica palette. This guy, I've hit all the uses in every one, but there is no pan yet. I think it'll take a while. Don't need to use a lot for any of these shades, so yeah, no pan yet. Now onto some of my older palettes. I've got some shades from a Milani palette. This guy right here, this is now one of my oldest palettes. There was a shimmer brown. I decided to declutter that. And there's another shade that I have back at my family Family's Place. So, but I've hit all my uses on these, and this guy already has pan. So here I have Naked palette, so some shades I still have. I have some uses, like this guy had a pan before, and I've used this guy, and this guy would still have uses to go. Then I have the Naked 2 palette. This guy, it's hard to open. I've only put in uses on these two guys. I still have uses to go with all the others, so I'll probably use those in the fall. And no pans yet. This guy is getting a dent. I don't use it all the time though. So yeah. Those take a while to hit pan. Then I have a palette from Colored Rain. This is the Safari Rain palette. I don't have any uses in this year. I do have a pan though. But yeah, I'll get my uses in the fall. It's a perfect fall palette. Then I have some Sydney Grace shadows. And here I have a pan in this guy. It's not my favorite though, so this one I would declutter. This guy I'm not sure if maybe I'd want to just keep it as something for the nails. It really stains a lot on the eye, so I don't like it for that. These 6 are the ones I've put a use in. So all of these still have some time to go. But then I've got a Sleek palette. I do have a smaller one that is at my family's place, so I'll have to update on that when I get it. This guy, I haven't really put any uses on it this year. These are added in, so they don't count. But I did use this guy, and this guy already has a pan. So, okay. Next are my ColourPop palettes. I have quite a few, and I have to get more use out of them. This one I did get recently. Yeah, it was... I mean, I just love Pokemon, so I couldn't pass it up. So it is a really fun rainbow palette. I use these two on my nails. So this guy is this one here, and I have this one here. But they are glitters, so I don't really want to have them on my eyes. So I'll probably put them separately after this, since I already got my use. And then I use these 3 blues, and this guy. But yeah, still more uses to go. Pan will take a while. Got the Stone Cold Fox. This guy doesn't have any uses in it right now, and I don't have any pans. Since it is ColourPop, I think it'll take a while to hit pan. Then we have Bare Necessities. This guy doesn't have any pans either. This guy's the closest, has a really good dip. Does take a while though, because you don't need much at a time. And I only have a use in this guy right now for this project. So then we got Star Wars palette. This guy, I did hit all my uses in it. No pan yet though. This guy will probably be the one. It is a Super Shock type. I have used it quite a lot, so it has a very good dip in it. But yeah. Then we have the Child. It's another Star Wars themed one. This guy, I have a use in all the greens. Not these guys though, but that'll just take one look. And then for pan, maybe I'll go for the Super Shock since that's easier. But yeah. Then I have the Sprinkle Little Magic palette. This guy, I have a project right now, so I have uses in these guys. And I'll hit my uses pretty soon since it is in a project. No pan yet though. I would guess it would be in a shimmer, but they are pretty new, so it would take a while. Then we have Going Coconuts. I really like the tones in here, but I always forget to use it. I only have uses in these two. This guy I had been using quite a lot in the 50 Shades of Yellow because it has a really strong yellow shift. So it's not my favorite to have in this palette. But yeah, it's probably what I'll hit pan in next. Has a massive dip, but it takes such a tiny amount every time I use it, so still take. Then we have Little Ray of Sunshine. This is also in the 50 Shades of Yellow, so I hit all my uses in this guy. No pan yet, but I do have a nice dip going in this guy. It's probably what I would work to hit pan on. It is super, super powdery. So that's also why it has a good dip, but yeah. Maybe I'll use it a little bit more in the fall. Then we have Nude Mood. No uses in this this year. No pan either, but this guy has a good dip, so maybe I'll focus on this guy to hit pan. Then we have Making Moms. I have done all my uses on this. It's these guys here. This one is just kind of another shadow I added in. There's no pans yet. I don't know when that'll happen because, you know, the mats take a long time to hit pan. This guy is still pretty new. So yeah. Then we have That's Taupe. This guy, no uses in it this year. No pans. They're also the same thing. These guys are like added in, so it's just all the other ones. So yeah. Then after that, I've got some Hello Kitty palettes. These are the last ones from ColourPop. I do also have a blue one, but that's at my family's. So I'll have to update on that later. This guy I haven't used recently this year. So still have uses to go, and pan will take a while. And this guy, I do have my uses in it. I have it in a project right now. But pan would also take a while. These two shimmers are probably what I would use. They are really lovely, but I don't need to use much, so it'll take a while to hit pan on those. Then these are the last few palettes. I've got some Revolution palettes. This one is from Roxy. It's a collab with Roxy. This guy, I've hit all my uses. And I hit a little pan here, so I've got to both goals with this palette. I'm happy with that. I did find recently these two pinks irritate my eyes, so I would declutter those. I won't for now though. Then I have the Bugs palette. This guy, I've hit all my uses recently. This guy actually I've hit pan. It's a shimmer that I have in the New Nude palette that I've repressed there. So I do have a pan in this palette. I am trying to use these guys a bit more because they're super shock type. But yeah, I've been enjoying this palette. And last is my Zodiac palettes from BH. I have these depotted. The mats I have at home, so they're not like super favorites, so I'm just focusing on the shimmers. On this half here that you can see is the Zodiac Love palette. These 5 guys I've hit my uses on. These guys I still need to use. I do have pans for this palette. And then this side is the original Zodiac. So I've hit my uses on these bottom guys, and I still have to hit uses on these guys. No pan in this palette either, so it takes a bit of time with this palette because they're very pigmented shadows, but yeah. So numbers for palettes that I've hit my no pan left behind goal, that is 17. Palettes that I've hit pan in every palette, that is 15. So I'm pretty happy with that. There is some overlap with those. There's some palettes that, since they've hit both, I won't need to update anymore in this project. So that's the Mini Nude, the Mini Star, the Harajuku palette, the and then the Roxy palette and the Bugs palette. So there's 5 of those that'll be rolling out of this project. My main goal will be to have a No Pan Left Behind. That'll probably be my next update, is when I hit that goal. And then after that will probably just be for Pan on every palette, since that'll be quite slow. But yeah, so for now that's it. Hopefully next update is a little bit shorter, since there's a few less palettes then. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for sitting down and watching this whole thing. It's pretty long. But yeah, have a nice day. Bye.